Hey besties, welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about the books that I read in the month of October, November, and December. First, we're going to talk about all of my October reads. So the first one that I read was Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson. I rated this with 5 stars. I really did enjoy it. I didn't expect to like it that much because a lot of people read it and didn't like it. I did not feel that way whatsoever. I do love Holly Jackson books though, like every single one of them. I ate them up. I've read every single one of them except Killjoy, which is like a little novella in the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. But every single one of her books I absolutely love. I'm not gonna say much about this book just because thriller, mystery, horror books, I personally like to go into everything, all of them blindly. So I would like to give you guys that opportunity as well. But I also did not expect to cry towards the end of this book. Like the ending, I cried. Tell me why. Next is one that I read on my Kindle, on Kindle Unlimited. It's called You Should Have Just Let Me Go by Bailey Thomas. Now this is an indie author that had put in my comments that she would really like me to read one of her books, so I gave this one a shot. Now I rated it as 3.75, which is actually pretty good. The only reason I did not rate it like super highly, A, I was in a reading slump for all 3 of these months, and B, I didn't like the male character throughout the book at all. Like there was no point in time where I actually enjoyed his character, and I was rooting for the main female character to end up with his best friend the entire time. This is basically about the male character and the female character. They've been together for a really long time, I think like 10 years or something like that, and she wants to settle, like she wants to get married and blah blah blah, but he wants to focus on his career, and she's supporting him throughout the whole thing, but they keep butting heads, and at one point they just decide to break up because it's just what's best for them. And so we kind of then go through her journey of, you know, learning how to be single and learning how to love life and whatever, and then his journey with starting his career and whatever. I did enjoy that it was a little different in that way, where there was no, like, she didn't end up with someone in the end, so that was a little different, and I did enjoy that. But like I said, I just was not rooting for the male character at all. Every time I was in his point of view, I just wanted to skip the chapter. I didn't, but I hated my time in his mind. Like I literally could not even. Anytime he opened his mouth, I was like, are you okay? What? Anyways, all of her books are on Kindle Unlimited though, and they're all like really short. I think they're like 200 pages, something like that. They're really short. I haven't read any of her other books yet. I probably will at some point. This year I'm really focusing on my actual physical TBR. Next is The Coven by Harper L. Woods. Now, I had really high hopes for this because it sounds right up my alley, like witches, spooky vibes. I love it, okay? My whole life, every single day, people call me a witch. Okay? They say I give witch vibes, and I'm not mad about it, honestly. But anyways, so this just sounds right up my alley. But I did give it a 3-star, which is not terrible. I just was not caring as much as I wish I would. And even now, right now, I can't tell you what happened. I really cannot, because what even happened? And the plot twist towards the end, like it ended on a cliffhanger, but it was like, what? They're just throwing it to throw it in there. But I do love how pretty it is. I'm not gonna go into detail about what it's about because I don't even remember, if I'm being honest. Okay, so it's an enemies to lovers type of situation, but also like she's a witch and he's a vampire, and he's also like a a headmaster to the school and she's a student there. I really don't know, guys. I really don't know. I wish I don't know. Next, I read The Cursed by Harper Elwoods. Obviously the same series. Now the reason why I read this, even though I remember absolutely nothing from that book, is because I already owned it. So I might as well read it. And the third book, I don't remember what it's called. I think it's called The Damned or something. Came out in October or something. I don't know. So I was like, I might as well read it, see if I enjoy it, and then I can get the next one. I rated this a 1.5. I did not enjoy my time whatsoever. Now, I was listening to it on Audible, I think. Same thing with the other one. And the whole time, I was just so excited for it to be over. And I was like, I was only pushing through it because I think it was like 4 hours long or whatever. And I was like, it's whatever. Like, I'll just play my video games while listening to this. But the whole time I was like, hey, I'm over it. Just the dynamic between the male character and the female character was pissing me off. I just couldn't. Okay, I just couldn't. I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. These next books I read on my Kindle because they're on Kindle Unlimited. They're all like the little spicy Halloween novellas type of things. So first I read Hot for Slayer by Ali Hazelwood. Now this one I rated a 4. I did actually really like it. I think it was one of the longer ones in the entire series. But it was so good. I loved it. It's like a vampire and a vampire slayer. And they end up falling in love. They've been like rivals for a long time. Okay? But they end up falling in love. Love them. Next is Falling by Christina Lauren. I rated this one at 2.5 because I did enjoy it. But I was also like, what? I think it's about an angel and just like a regular human being. I don't really remember what happened. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm very tired. I just got off of work like an hour ago and my ear really hurts today, so I can't. I can't. The only reason I'm recording right now is because my boyfriend is going snow machining and I have nothing to do other than work. So next is Spicy Little Curses by J.T. Geisinger, something like that. I rated this one a 3.75. I was actually really loving this one as well. It's about voodoo or whatever, and I was like, yeah, right up my alley. This guy owns a tattoo shop, but he's also he's cursed by a voodoo type of thing, and this girl just comes in. She's like a news reporter or like a newspaper columnist or whatever. Anyways, and she helps him break the curse. I loved it. I really did. Next is Space Vampires by Ruby Dixon. I rated this on 1.75. I actually really did not like it. I also don't like Ruby Dixon at all as well. I had the Ice Planet Barbarians book, like the first one, and I DNF'd it almost immediately. I think I got 5% in and I was like, yeah, no. I even got rid of the book too. That's how you know I hated it. I got rid of the book. Yeah, I was not really fucking with this one that much. It's about a vampire. He's stuck in space. Okay, because people are experimenting on him. And I think she's a human. I think aliens are experimenting on the human and the vampire. And I think the vampire broke out and all of the aliens kind of fled the scene, fled the spaceship and whatever. Because obviously the vampire is dangerous and blah, 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 blah. And then they fall in love. And then they end up going to a different planet. And it was weird. I'm weirded out. I don't like... I think he had a tail as well. I think he was an alien vampire thing. And he had a tail. And they did things with that tail. I don't like it. I don't like it, guys. I was scared. Okay, next is Beautiful Nightmare by Kate Robert. I gave this one a 4 stars. I actually really did like this one as well. It's about, so like think Monsters Inc. Okay? And you know how like the monsters go through the door and then they have to scare the people to get like screams and blah blah blah. So that's the same vibes. Like these monsters have to go through the door and scare the humans. So this one monster does not want to scare humans. She's actually really bad at it. But she goes in there and, well, actually they feed on emotion. No matter what emotion it is, as long as it's a really strong emotion, they can feed on it. But her goal is to scare. Like, she's in the scaring department. Anyway, so she like tries to go scare him, but he actually gets turned on instead. And so he has like that strong emotion. She feeds off that. So every night they kind of just do stuff until they get caught, and then she's banished. Because demons aren't supposed to be like that. She gets turned into an angel instead, and then gets reunited with this man. But now she can go outside of the room. Because like when she was a demon, feeding on his emotions, like they were restricted to the room, like she can go out. But now that she's an angel, her goal is to get his love as an angel. Feed off of his love. I don't know. But I did like it. While reading it, I loved it. And then the last one is My Boyfriends Are All Monsters by Kimberly Lemming. I did not like this one either. I rated it 1.75 as well. I really did not like it. So like this girl goes hiking with her boyfriend and they get into a fight. They break up. Rightfully so, because the guy was actually being an asshole and wanting to prefer this other girl. Like, I don't know what was going on, but anyways, they break up and she's like, I'm leaving. But it's like the middle of the night and they're in the woods and it's scary. And she stumbles upon this town and everything's fine, but then everyone starts acting weird. But it's actually this monster who created a town and is just like creating these people to make her happy and whatever. It was so weird. Because like even when she found out, she was like, okay, whatever. And started, like, it was just like a whole thing. So those are all of the October ones. Now we're gonna go into November. November was a really hard month for me just in general. If you guys watched my video, like my coming back video, you'll know why. But the books I did read were pretty good. But there was only 3. So first is Bride by Ali Hazelwood. I rated this a 4.5. I really liked it. Obviously, this is my first actual book by Ali Hazelwood. I obviously read the little novella Hot for Slayer by her in October, but this is my first like actual book by her, and I actually really did like it. I don't know why I was avoiding it for so long. Like, I think I bought it when it came out and just been avoiding it ever since. I did buy Mate, and I am excited to read that. That's on this month's TBR, and I'm so excited. It's about Misery and Lo, and basically Misery is a vampire, Lo is a werewolf, and they're in an arranged marriage to form like an alliance between the two clans, and obviously they end up falling in love, guys. Obviously there was a lot of like things happening. Like, I was entertained the entire time. The only thing I do wish is that we got more of Lo's point of view. Like, the only time you get to see his point of view is at the beginning of the chapter. At the beginning of the chapter, there's like this up here. Sometimes it's like a whole paragraph. That's in Lo's point of view, but the rest is Misery's. But I did like it. And there's also like a plot twist at the end. Next one I read is Bespelled by Laura Talisa. Yes, I rated this a 4.5. It's the second book after Bewitched. Yeah, it's called the Bewitched series. So it's Bewitched and then Bespelled. My fucking ear. I can't. Every time I swallow it hurts. I really did enjoy this. I think at this point, like, I was just really tired of like Halloween. Not Halloween, but like spooky, witchy type vibe books, because like I just kept reading so many of like the same type of book and I was just tired of it. But I still really did enjoy it. I'm not gonna say anything about this one just because it's the second book and it will kind of like spoil a lot of things in the first book as well. But it picks up right where we left off in the first book, and it does end on a cliffhanger. So if you are planning on reading this series, maybe wait till the next one comes out. I think it comes out this year. I'm not 100% sure, but I am excited. Oh, I just remembered what the cliffhanger was. Oh my god. Okay, last book I read in November is Little Stranger by Lee Rivers. I rated this at 3.5 stars. I did really enjoy this. It's just not like super high just because it is a smaller book, so like you're not getting that much into it, but I did really enjoy it. I also didn't like how they're step siblings. Not step siblings. They're both fostered. Or no, he's fostered. I think she's the actual daughter though. Either she's like biological daughter to the parents and he's fostered into the family, or they're both fostered. I'm not 100% sure. But basically he's been obsessed with her since the very first time they met, which was when like he was 8 years old and she was 7 or something like that. Anyways, he kind of like manipulates her to do things with him when like they're teenagers, and she obviously falls in love with him. He falls in love with her as much as someone who has like issues like this can, but she ends up not believing that he does love her, and like something happens and they kind of like break apart. He goes to jail for a long time, comes back and kind of like tortures her for a while. I do want to read the second book. I just don't know when, because you're also supposed to read a different series in between the first and second book, so I'm kind of working my way through it, but we'll see. But I do like how it's like very tiny, very quick. Okay, on to December. I actually read a decent amount, but only on my Kindle. A lot of books that I don't own. But I did read one that I do own, which is Quicksilver by Kelly Hart. I have both copies here for some weird reason. Yes. Unpopular opinion, but I do like this better. I like this cover better than that. I'm so sad that they don't have one for Brimstone. I don't want to get into it. Okay. I'm so excited for Brimstone. I'm reading it right now. Anyways, Quicksilver. I rated this a 5-star. I don't think anyone's surprised. Like usually when it's like a popular fantasy, I always rate them 5 stars. Not because that they're popular, but because I just love them, okay? Okay? I usually do agree with the majority of people. Sue me, okay? I'm sorry. Anyways, this is about Saris, and she is a normal person. She lives in the Silver City, which is like a poor city type of thing. And one day, she gets caught stealing, gets brought to the dungeons, and activates a silver pool, which is called Quicksilver. A fae comes out, which is Kingfisher, brings her to the fae realm, and basically she has to navigate this new world. She's meeting all these faes. She also never knew faes existed, so she's navigating that as well, and she's prepping for like war, and she's learning how to fight. Anyways, and then Kingfisher is like, you can leave, but only once you complete this for me, which is making a bunch of like amulets, I guess, that will help his people go through the pool of Quicksilver, because apparently if you go through the pool of Quicksilver without an amulet, you go cuckoo bananas, basically, because it starts like getting in your skin and like eating away at you, basically. So she's also learning how to do that, because apparently she's like an alchemist. I'm not gonna say too much because obviously it's a thick book and you need to read it. So those are all the physical books that I read. in the past few months, but I do have more that I read. So the next one is Psychotic Obsession by Lee Rivers. I rated it a 3-star. So like I said, after Little Stranger, you're supposed to read Psychotic Obsession and then read the Edge of Darkness trilogy. You're supposed to read the first one in the Sinner's Duet. Is that what it's called? Sinner's Duet? Oh, the Web of Silence Duet, which would be Little Stranger, and then read Psychotic Obsession, and then read the Edge of Darkness trilogy, and then read the second book in the Web of Silence Duet, which is Little Liar. So I read Psychotic Obsession by Lee Rivers, and I rated it a 3. I didn't like it as much as Little Stranger, obviously. It was really slow for me, but also at this point I wasn't really reading that much, so it could be my own fault because I was only reading like 1 or 2 chapters every time I picked it up, so I was not really getting into it, but it just felt like it was dragged on a lot. And then also like the relationship between the two people were very much Harley Quinn and Joker vibes, which is not a bad thing, but it's not really my vibe that much. Like, it was just like a lot, okay? Like, he's literally talking about killing her friends and family, okay? And she's just like, that never happened. Like, he's drugging her every night. He's stalking. Like, I don't care about the stalking, but literally almost killed her a few times because he had psychotic episodes. Anyways, there's no happily ever after. If you're planning on reading it, there's no happily ever after. Anyways, I will read the Edge of Darkness trilogy. I just don't know when. I'm not really in the mood right now. Next one I read is The Christmas Playbook by S. Massery and S.J. Silvis. Never heard of this person, so I might be butchering it. It's apparently a part of a series, Shadow Valley U series, but it's like a little novella, and I don't think it matters if you read it without reading the series. I didn't read the series, but I rated it 3 as well because I wasn't expecting what was happening. I thought, okay, S. Mastery is a dark romance writer. Like, I've read her Hockey Gods series, and those are dark. And this was not dark at all. So the entire time I was like, when is the stalking gonna happen? Like, literally the whole time I was like, what? Where's the dark romance at? And it never happened. But it was really cute. For like a Christmas novella type of thing, I liked it still. It's just, I was expecting a dark Christmas novella. If you're going into it like that, don't, okay? Because it's not that. But basically, this main female character is going on a trip with her family, and then same thing with the male character. He's going on a trip with his friends, and they end up booking the same room at the same time. There was a fuck up at the front desk. They had double booked the room, but they know each other from when they were kids, and so they start fake dating because her family bullying her all the time about the fact that she's single and blah blah blah. So she had enough, and so they fake date. We're almost done, I promise. Next, I read He Sees You When You're Sleeping. It's a part of the Naughty or Nice duet. There's another book called He Knows When You're Awake, but this one's the first one. I rated it a 3 as well. I enjoyed it. It's a dark romance. Yeah, it's a dark romance. But make it Christmas. Obviously, he's a firefighter. She is an influencer, and he stalks her. That's all I'm gonna say. I did enjoy it. It's just, every chapter that was in his point of view, I was getting kind of annoyed because he just kept being like, this is so wrong that I'm stalking her, I should stop, but I can't. Every single chapter. And then he did finally tell her. She obviously didn't take it well. And then that same night. Well, no. She's like, stay away from me. I can't do this. Like, you're weird. You've been stalking me for years. Can't do this. And then that same night, he saves her from being assaulted by her coworker, I guess you can say. And all is forgiven. I was expecting a little bit more groveling on his part. But no. Next, I read 3 books in another little novella series, but like Christmas version. I think there is 5. I just didn't get around to the last 2 because it was like, I think the last day of the year is when I finished the 3rd one, and I just didn't want to continue in the new year because like the first book I wanted to read this year, I wanted it to be a good one, not a little novella. So the first one is Cruel Winter with You, and it's by Ali Hazelwood. I rated it a 3 stars. It was cute for what it was. Obviously, I don't even remember what it's about, if I'm being quite honest. Oh, yes, that's right. There's like a blizzard happening, and her dad sends her to her best friend's house to get like a pot or something. Anyways, and her best friend's brother is at the house, and he's like, what the fuck are you doing here? And she explains the situation, and then he's like, okay, well, you're not going back. Like, it's not safe for you to go back. And so she's trapped there. Because of the blizzard, obviously. And, they have a little bit of a history because he had admitted to having feelings for her in the past. And, yeah, so they resolve it. Cute. I liked it. Next is Merry Ever After by Tessa Bailey. I rated this one a 3 as well. Maybe a 2.5. I'm not the biggest fan of Tessa Bailey. Every single time I read a Tessa Bailey book, I don't have a good time. In the first half of the book, I'm like, this is so slow, this is so boring, like I'm close to DNFing, and then I push through, and then I end up enjoying the last bit, but it's like, it's not worth me reading on anymore, so like I'm not buying any more Tessa Bailey books. I think I have like 1 or 2 still on my TBR. I'm gonna read them, but like I won't be happy about it. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna read them. I'm gonna end up enjoying them towards the end, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to buy a Tessa Bailey book anymore because I don't have good experiences with her books. This one was different, I think, because it was a novella too. I think it was like 70 pages or something like that, so it's a little shorter. I did enjoy it. That's why it's a 3 star. It's basically about this single mom. She moves to this small town to restart her life, and this cowboy has a crush on her every time he sees her or whatever, but then figures out that she has a kid and kind of runs away. She gets upset because she's like, he's gonna react like this because I have a kid, but it's really because he thought she was married and he didn't want to hit on a married woman. But she comes over to his house and they kind of resolve it. And then last but certainly not least, well, it's actually least, the last book that I read in the year was All by My Elf by Olivia Dade. I rated it a 1 star. Yep. I think, how many pages was it anyways? I think it was like 50. Yeah, 54 pages. I did not like it at all. I actually almost DNF'd it. That's crazy, considering it's like 50 pages. There were no chapters in it, like whatsoever. It was literally just all 54 pages is 1 chapter. And I did not like that at all as well. But it was just weird. Like, so she has a crush on one of her coworkers. So she's coworkers with this guy and then her best friend. She has a crush on this guy. Okay? But she thinks that him and her best friend are dating. So she has never done anything. She's never made her feelings clear. Whatever. But then one night they're driving back home or something like that, and there's this blizzard, so now they have to be on the side of the road because the weather is not letting them drive. Like, you can't drive in this weather. So, they're stuck on the side of the road. They sleep, whatever. They're playing a game of Never Have I Ever, I think. Yeah. And, then they figure out that he's not actually dating the best friend. They admit their feelings, and they sleep together. That's pretty much it. And they're driving around a giant hot dog. Yeah, all around, didn't like it. Okay, those are all the books that I read in the past 3 months. Considering I was in a reading slump, it's not terrible. Would I liked it to be a little more? Yes, because most of them were novellas. That's the only way that I was able to hit my reading goal, is by these novellas. These are all the books. Let me know if you read any of these books, or if you're planning on reading them. Maybe we could discuss them in the comments. I love talking about books that I read. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace.